Welcome to enVisioning Success, the weekly podcast where Laura DiBenedetto and Julia Becker Collins share tips, suggestions, and stories to help you succeed in business. In today's episode, we'll discuss the difference between sales and marketing, stressing the need for both short-term and long-term strategies with marketers who focus on your business growth. And here is Laura and Julia.
Welcome back to enVisioning Success. We're excited to spend time with you today and every day. I'm Laura DiBenedetto, joined by Julia Becker Collins. The show is lovingly sponsored by Vision. We are a kick-ass marketing company saving business owners a lot of frustration and helping you make money the easy way through good marketing that actually frickin' works. So today, we're going to help you not get pitch slapped.
How long have you been holding on to that joke?
About 30 seconds.
It's a good one.
I'm really good with improv. You want me to remember stuff? Forget it.
Yeah, that's great.
So I said in the last episode, I've actually mentioned this a few times over the episodes. Vision is like the PTSD recovery center for a lot of battered and abused business owners. And the reason for that is because people don't know how to buy what we sell. And to be candid, people don't know how to buy what you sell either, but that's a problem we'll solve in a different episode. The reason why you get in trouble is because when you don't know how to buy it correctly, you will make mistakes. You don't know what questions to ask. You don't know what good looks like. You don't know what the standard is. And because you're not an expert in it, you don't even know if you're getting screwed or if you're getting a winner. You have no idea. And that's really risky. And listen, I'm no stranger to risk. I think that, no risk, no reward, but let's make smart risks. Like take the risk on marketing, but don't take the risk on a risky marketer.
Also, don't take a risk on somebody that is a salesperson for a platform telling you they're going to solve all your problems. Cough, cough, Yelp. Cough.
Seriously. I know.
If I have one more client that comes to us and says, but I had this great conversation with this person from Yelp, and they said, it's only going to cost this for me to get that. And I said, do any of your current, future, potential, ideal clients ever come in through the current stream on Yelp? Nope.
Yeah. Listen, all these platforms have so many different things to offer. And, we're not trying to throw Yelp under the bus or Google under the bus or this or that. It's not about that. But there's a really important thing that I want you to know, dear listener, whom I love dearly. When someone is trying to sell you something, it is because they would like to feed their family. There is no lack of bias. There isn't any, okay? It is very hard to find objective providers. There's a reason why we charge for marketing plans, because we're getting paid to provide unbiased advice. Here's the advice. You can do what you want with it. You can hire us to execute some of it, all of it, none of it, doesn't matter, but you have paid us for objective advice, and that is what you will get. When you get free advice in the form of a sales conversation, be skeptical. Oh my God. Listen, I have seen so many people over the years who are depressed, sad, poorer, frustrated, angry, and very often extremely apprehensive because they don't know how to buy it and they're afraid that they'll make a mistake again. Understandable. Well, if you don't learn this stuff in this episode, you will make that mistake again. So, we've talked about how to hire a marketing company. I know we did a whole episode on that before of like the questions to ask and what you're looking for. Please go back through the archives and look for those. But like every episode, we've got 5 things for you. Before we dive into these, just a reminder, please rate, review, subscribe, and share this show and this episode with a friend. Sharing is caring, and this is free marketing education that makes you smarter and richer. All that in mind, let's talk about this first one here. So, sales versus marketing objectives. Okay. When you're meeting with a salesperson, they might dazzle you so hard. Maybe you like them. You guys are biffles. You're doing dinners together. You guys are pals. You're thinking about your shared vacations and soccer trips together. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah. This person's great at sales and relationship building. That's cool. Do not confuse that for their ability to deliver marketing results. The other thing to think about is marketing cannot guarantee you results. I can't. And I got to tell you, I'm damn good at this. I can't guarantee results because there are too many variables in play. I can't control the market. I can't control the news cycle. Really wish I could. Can't control geopolitics. Can't control the weather. Can't control the holidays. Can't control shit. What I can control is that I will provide excellent work, that my team will provide excellent work. That's the only thing that's within my control. So when you look at a sales pitch and someone is indicating to you, oh, this will happen, that will happen. No, it could happen.
I am like hardcore.
Huh?
I'm like bobbleheading over here because I just had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a client meeting where they expressed that they wanted to be the number one search result for everything that they do. And I very calmly said, I absolutely understand that. But if somebody tells you that they can make you the number one search result organically, then they are lying to you, and run out of the room. And I would never guarantee that. I will never guarantee that. That's not a thing that can be guaranteed. We could have a 2-hour conversation about organic SEO versus paid SEO. And maybe we should do a future episode because people are very confused.
Yep.
But the very bottom line, the TLDR here is organic SEO takes time. So if you're investing the time now, it's going to be for future, and nobody can predict the future.
Nope.
And if they tell you they can, they're lying to you.
Correct.
It's like buying a car, which is probably the thing most people hate to do in the world. And you don't like the person you're dealing with, but maybe they're a really good salesperson. And if they say this car could take you to the moon, that person is lying to you.
Yep. Here's the other thing that, you just brought up, and it really kind of like ties with this point really beautifully. It's also focusing on the correct objective. When people say, I want to be number one on Google, cool. Why?
Right.
It's not about being number one on Google. Oh, I want to be found on Facebook. Okay. Why? The objective is to make sales. Okay. And what you'll get is a lot of marketing people, a lot of sales people who represent marketing companies and providers and tacticians and whatever, who will promise to do a marketing thing for you, not actually tying it to your business top line revenue. And that is a big fat mistake. And this is one of those things where I'm at the point where I refuse to work with people who don't understand business and actual sales and how my business operates. I hire people to do all kinds of different things. My accountant, my advisors, my this, my that. I'm not taking advice from you, and I'm not spending a nickel with you unless you show me that you understand why and how I make money and what that workflow looks like. So neither should you.
I also think that there's so many really great business owners out there who don't have confidence in their understanding of marketing, and they're embarrassed by that. And so when somebody comes in with a really slick sales pitch, which one of the things I hear most often is, we're going to improve your SEO by doing all these things every month, and it's $5,000 a month. And then you buy it because you think, wow, they must know what they're talking about. And then you're embarrassed because it's not doing anything. You probably shouldn't have spent the money. And the person you bought from is doing all of those things. I just had this conversation with somebody else. They are actually fulfilling the contract obligations. It's that you bought the wrong thing. The thing they're providing isn't going to do anything for you.
Because they
And
don't
you're overpaying for it.
Yep, that too. Oh, this chaps my hide. I hate seeing it. And like, this episode is really important to me for you to really get this information, because seriously, you could never hire my agency and I'm fine with that. But please, for the love of God, don't make bad decisions, because you don't know enough. This information is here to help you make a good decision. So when you do take a risk, it is an educated risk. It is an informed risk. It is something where you've mitigated as much as you possibly can. And you actually get someone who can actually help you versus just tell you they're going to help you. So let's talk about the second point.
So our second point is long-term versus short-term gains. And we're not talking about in the gym, even though Laura and I love to talk about gains in the gym.
Gains.
I know, right? Gains, man. But that'd be with a Z. Gains. I know. I love a good fitness joke. So I'm here for it. When you have these conversations, when you don't get pitch slapped, I'm going to use that joke for forever. That's great. It's great. It's really, I'm putting that in my arsenal. That sales focus, that person that's pitching you, in addition to trying to, line their own pockets, which, it's a capitalist society, go for it. They're thinking about what we can do for you now, but they're not thinking strategy. Last episode, we talked a lot about strategy and the importance on strategy, and the things you do now will affect you later. And are the things they're going to do now going to be helpful for you later? Or are the things that they're going to do now only helpful in the long term and you need short-term help? They're not thinking about any of that. They're also not thinking about how to build a relationship with you. We think about partnering with our clients. We're very specific about that word because we want to be your marketing partner. And like Laura said, you could never work with us. That's totally fine. There's plenty of amazing businesses out there that we're friends with. We know the owners and they don't work with us, and that's totally cool, man. Yep. But please take the advice of, if you're going to outsource your marketing, if you're going to outsource anything in your business, the company you're outsourcing it to needs to have your best intentions in mind and want you to win, rather than just checking a box. Are they creating that long-term relationship where they're invested in both your short-term and your long-term success?
Value. Yeah. And you know what? I've been using this metaphor forever. So I grew up in New England, and I also grew up in the country. I had a garden growing up, and I understand the difference between growing a pumpkin, which takes a full 4 months, and growing a radish, which takes just a couple weeks. So when you're doing marketing, it's important that you understand you need both radishes and pumpkins, because you can't exist on just radishes, and you can't just plant only pumpkins because you're going to fucking starve. Okay. That doesn't work.
Have you seen, this is a little off topic, but it's fine. It's funny. Have you seen the video on Instagram where the woman live opens up her first watermelon that she grew in her brand new garden, and it's a pumpkin?
No.
I'm going to send this to you. It's what her reaction is like. It's hilarious.
I saw somebody open a giant watermelon. Turns out it was a really big cucumber.
Right. It's sort of like that. It's hilarious.
That brings up another point. You might not always get the benefit you thought you were going to get, but take the win.
You thought you were getting a watermelon? You got a pumpkin.
Ta-da! Still food. Stick it in the oven instead of in the fridge. Different things, still food. Hey, listen, you know what? This is a really great point that you're bringing up. I think that, long-term gains with a Z, really important. Oh, dude, your biceps. I worship at the altar of Julia. Seriously. You're hiding them in your sweater, to be fair.
It's cold here. I'm in New England.
Fair. Well, I'm dressed like this because I live in sunny Florida. Anywho, it's man, it's just so important. And I feel like this is why when you are talking to a salesperson who's like a really slick salesperson, you're getting the pitch slap, you're getting the whole thing. They're not necessarily concerned with the vitality and well-being of your company and your top line freaking revenue. You must work with people who actually understand these things. And they're like, okay, I'm asking you to do a cash outlay. Let's talk about how this is going to impact you, when you will reasonably expect to see results, and in what form. What does the long term look like? What does the short term look like? Guys, I don't feel like I could beat this point any harder. It's beyond dead. It's pulp. It's like
You're beating
not
the
even
dead horse
pulp
dead
anymore.
again.
It's liquefied. You need strategy support. You're never going to get that from salespeople. Never. Unless they are strategists who happen to sell. Note what I said, strategists who happen to sell versus salespeople. Salespeople can rarely be good with strategy. Third point here, let's talk about this. The expertise, right? We talked about this in the last episode, actually. The specialized marketing knowledge and campaign execution, which sales skills alone can't cover. Oftentimes you're going to get somebody like the Yelp or the YP Media or the this or the that, where they're kind of like wholesaling this stuff out. And here you go. You pay a small fee, small air quotes, please, for the love of God, hear the air quotes, small fee for we'll do X, Y, and Z for you. They are tacticians. And okay, if that's all you need and it fits within a larger strategy, cool. Explain that to me, defend it. But, you have to have specialists who have a proven track record of actual delivery of results of, again, top line revenue. I'm going to beat this beyond. We're going to get atomic here. That's how dead it's going to get. Strategy and results, man. Top line revenue. That's what you really need to focus on. So you have to have specialists, not generalists, who are doing very specific things for you. That way you get someone who isn't just fogging a mirror, which yay, but get someone who can actually meaningfully move the needle for the top line revenue.
And the other issue is that if you're buying from somebody who's just a salesperson, right? Not a strategist first, not involved in the day-to-day operations of the business, only there to meet their numbers. So Yelp, YP Media, or whoever out there, they are thinking about the work that they're selling you as a task. And this goes back to strategy, but that also means that they will not be able to pivot. If and when there's a change in the landscape, if and when there's a change in your needs, if and when there's a change in what you can access. We were talking about TikTok offline. What if TikTok goes down? What if it's banned? What if we can't control that? So if you paid for all these TikTok services and now there's no more TikTok, they're not going to be able to pivot to something else or even be able to think about the pivoting. You're just not relevant to them anymore.
Yeah. Ugh. We don't want that.
Nope.
Let's talk about number 4.
Oh, it's just a big episode of us beating the dead horse. I feel like I have PTSD.
So dead. It's already in the after realms.
I know. It's like gonna come back around and like be Frankensteined.
Once the horse reincarnates, let's beat it again.
I'm gonna beat the reincarnated Frankenstein horse. Number 4 is identifying empty promises.
That's a good one.
Are they just using sales speak on you? And my trick is to figure out how many, marketing slang bingo words they could put into one email or phone call.
Julia, can we make a bingo card and give that as a gift to all of our clients?
Yeah, for real. And it will say agile in the middle as the free space.
Let's call it the pitch slap bingo card.
I love that. I'm here for that.
Do it.
Message us on the website if you would like.
And
we'll
get a picture of a dead horse with the eyes for the bingo stamp.
I love it. Are they using sales talk and saying agile over and over again? Can we align our agility? I can't even talk
Is it
about it.
nimble?
Or is it substantive marketing
Right.
strategies?
Exactly.
Are they talking about you? Are they talking about your goals? Are they asking you a bunch of questions, or are they talking a lot?
Yep. No, that's
That's
so
a
true.
Because if they're talking a lot, that's rehearsed. And that's fine. That's great that that's rehearsed. And probably they're good at their job, but that is a red flag that's saying they're not asking you anything about your business and your needs. And so they're going to give you a plug and play task solution that's going to maybe help for a month.
Maybe. That's a big fat maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Here's what I would really strongly advise. You're going to meet with some slick salespeople. You might even love them, think they're the best people ever. Give yourself time. Never decide on the spot. Take a week for a cooling off period. Objectively look at it when the emotional euphoria of, oh my God, all my problems are solved and my personal Jesus has just arrived. Take that enthusiasm out of it and be able to decide objectively. So let's be transparent. Laura DiBenedetto is trying to acquire companies right now. It is important to me that I take my time because I'm trying to make a good, objective, not no risk, but mitigated risk decision that will complement my portfolio and set me up for success. I cannot have enthusiasm, emotional attachment, or any sort of yay about this. I have to be cold. I have to be objective. Read the numbers tell a story. Well, guess what? The broker, the seller, all these people are trying to get me emotionally excited. Nope, sorry. I am a cold, dead fish here. You can't get me excited. Either the numbers work or they don't. It's very factual and binary, yes or no. This is where I love black and white thinking. It either works or it doesn't. So give yourself a cooling off period. Now, I thought of something, Julia, while you were talking that I desperately want to share. This is something I probably haven't talked about elsewhere, but I think it's important. Vision has always had the potential to be a much larger company, and I've I know enough about business to understand that in order to do that, you need to deploy a fairly formulaic approach to being able to do that. You need to give people a menu of things to pick from in order to do that. So I've made a strategic decision over the years to keep the agency smaller, which requires a slower sales process. It is specifically custom tailored to every person. This means that our hiring decisions are extremely sometimes dicey and complex, and our staff is specialized. But the reason for this is because my number one core value, and I know it's at least in Julia's top 5, is integrity. It is really freaking important to me that I do the right thing. And I don't want to grow a company like Sorry Super Pages or YP Media. I don't want to grow a company like that I know that I'm delivering tactics. That makes me want to puke and I would hate myself. So I don't like those companies. Sorry, they probably don't even care about me because I'm a tiny little pissant compared to them. Don't care. But the thing is, for an integrity choice where I can sleep at night, I can look myself in the eye and feel very proud of who I am and my ability to serve people, we take the slow cooker method where we slow down the sales process, we slow down the marketing planning process, we slow down certain things so we can hurry up and really drive truly profound results for people the right way, because there is no formula. Like, trust me, I'm intimately acquainted with SOPs and scaling and replicable processes and all this other stuff. Intimately acquainted. It doesn't belong here if we are to attach integrity to what we do. It doesn't. So, in case you're wondering, well, why aren't you a $50 million agency and why aren't you bigger? Because I don't want to be.
Right. I think there's 2 other points I wanted to make. One is that if somebody is marketing their marketing or advertising services as we only have 1 spot left for December or whatever, forget the fact that this is like top 10 pet peeve of mine in business, but That's just trying to create FOMO, which is fear of missing out. It's not it's not true. They're lying to you. They're going to, that's basically saying that they're not going to take other business if they were approached, which means they're an idiot. Right. Or they're stupid, whatever. 2, it's trying to get you to make an uneducated decision and do it quickly. And this brings me to my second point, which is you should want to work with an external partner who wants you to check everything, who wants you to double check references, which is going to bring us to our next point. But when I have conversations with sales prospects and they say, oh, I'm going to just have a couple other conversations, I say, great, do it. Talk to other companies. I want you to enthusiastically sign on the dotted line and have no regrets. I want you to see what else is out there and decide 100% that we are for you. And if we're not, that's totally fine.
Yep.
But
if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Right. And if they're trying to pressure you into an answer in that moment, run, don't walk.
I agree. Well said. I completely support everything you just said.
Thank
I'll
you.
make this last point really, really easy. Testimonials and checking into reputations. Here's what I'll tell you. Lots of people will ask for references, case studies, testimonials, things like that, and track records. Here's what I'll tell you from the inside. If you ask me if you can speak to my clients, that's not awesome for us because that's not my client's job. We will usually give one recommendation to speak with one of our clients, but here's something you need to really kind of embody. I am not going to give you a client who's pissed off. I'm going to tell you, here's a client you can talk to who's really happy. Okay. And they're going to say wonderful things. And yes, our clients are happy. Have we made everybody 100% happy over all 25 years? No, nobody ever has. But you need to actually look at a lot of data. If it's a larger company, you'll be able to look online and actually look for reviews. There's bad review websites where you can actually check into people's reputations. You want to actually do some Google searching about the business owners and see who they are, see if they've been involved in any lawsuits. The BBB, God love you, it's not enough. Okay. You need to be checking Google reviews. You need to be checking Yelp if it's applicable. Google the business owner and the leadership team, but also find out who they work with and get some feedback. Frankly, I would advise that you do this on your own. If you ask the business owner, hey, can I have some recommendations? They'll give them to you, but it's heavily biased. Of course it's going to be. And I'm telling you that because I've done it. Okay. People are like, oh, can I have references and recommendations? Sure, here's a curated list that I made all by myself. It's going to scream my praises. And then people are like, good, I'm satisfied. I'll hire you. No, you haven't made a good decision. You're still falling victim to a sales process. Do your own damn research and don't even ask the agency or whomever you're going to work with. Independently verify. Now, if you want to ask for a list of clients, you can look and actually take a look at the marketing on your own. Who are some of your clients? I'm not going to contact them, but I would really love to just be able to cyber stalk what you've built and make a judgment call for myself. Great. You can do that. You can also ask for, things in your contract that, hey, if this isn't what I thought, is there a cooling off period where I can get out of the contract after like a couple days if I feel as though I've made a bad decision? Can that happen? If people don't want to work with us 2 days after they've signed the contract, no problem. We're not going to hold you and stick you here. A lot of it is really important. I personally have an impeccable reputation. Julia has an impeccable reputation. Our agency has an impeccable reputation. I'm grateful for these things. We are well known in our community. I'm very grateful for that. I've spent a lot of years building a good reputation. That said, there's plenty of breadcrumbs for you to follow on your own. I've made it easy for you to cyber stalk us and find out everything that you need to know without ever talking to any of our clients. You don't want a marketer or salesperson curating what that review process is going to look like. Do your own damn research.
It's true. I have found that there is no other Julia Becker Collins out there. And if you
There
Google
are a
me,
few other Laura DiBenedettos, but they don't hold a candle to me. Sorry,
right.
ladies. All right, this has been a really interesting episode, and I think a necessary one. A little long. I don't think we've done an episode this long before, but I feel like it's really, really necessary. The next episode, we're going to be talking about you staying in your lane and doing what you're good at. And we're going to help you to figure out what you are good at and how you can protect yourself from the stuff you're not good at. Really simple. Once again, please rate, review, subscribe, share the episode. I know I keep saying it. Please do it if you haven't. It makes a difference and it can help other small business owners like you. Sharing is caring. Sponsored by Vision. Head to vision-advertising.com. Let us know what you'd like to hear about. Give us some feedback. Throw some tomatoes if you have to. We're here for you. Love to help you. And we'll see you in the next episode.